Hey guys, welcome to another video of the Finnworld Affairs. The topic why Indian startups are failing is interesting in itself. India has seen a great growth in recent times and Indian startups has played a huge role in that. But we have seen a failed IPO of the many startups. Why? Let's figure it out in the video. We can divide India's modern business history into two parts, pre-2009 and post-2009. The business criteria for the pre-2009 was revenue and the profitability, but the post-2009, the criteria changed drastically, which includes GMV, transaction value, daily active users, monthly active users. As you can see, the profitability is not one of the important parameters for business. In pre-2009 era, a person can only become rich if his or her company has a great revenue or profit. But in post-2009 era, if the company is running on the loss but still its founder can become rich. And here the question arises, how? The 2008 financial crisis brought a lot change in Indian startup ecosystem. The interest rates in the US during 2007 were 4.5%, but after 2008 financial crisis, the interest rates were dropped to 0.25%. When in a country the inflation is increasing slowly and steady by 6 to 7%, so it's obvious a person will find another way of earning to cope up with the inflation. And in search of returns, many US investors started running towards the emerging countries, and many made the Indian stock market as a weapon and earned hefty profits. Many saw other option as opportunity to earn more returns, and that were Indian startups.
7% here, a loss of 37 points or so. Apple shares are just getting hammered this morning.
We're down by between 3 and 4.5% generally across these markets. Let's talk about the speed with which we are watching this market deteriorate. We're red everywhere, essentially, down by 4-5%.
We're down over 16%. Dow at the same time has fallen about 18%.
The stock market is now down 21%.
Because we're now down 43%.
What in the world is happening on Wall Street?
Let's have a look on the Flipkart story. In 2009, the Flipkart raised the funding of Rs 6 crore from the Excel partner, and within a year, the valuation of the Flipkart increased many folds, and so do the profit of the Excel partners. Why? Because the Tiger Global has invested the 54 crores in the Flipkart in 2010. Many US investors and the VCs were closely monitoring these things. If we look at the profit of the Nifty and the Sensex of the Indian stock market, they have given the 13 to 14% of the returns annually. But watching the profit and the returns from the Indian startups left the investors' eyes wide open. Flipkart, InMobi, which was the first unicorn of the India, looking at that returns, many VCs from the US came to India and started investing heavily. And in case of Flipkart, in every further round except 2 or 3 rounds, Tiger Global was a common investor. And after investing so much money, Tiger Global has acquired a 30% stake in the Flipkart. Then comes the year 2017, where the Tiger Global sold a small stake in the Flipkart to the SoftBank and booked the profit. Next year was a miracle, where the Walmart acquired the Flipkart for the humongous Rs 1.5 lakh crores. And after this, the value of the stake of the Tiger Global went 24 to 25,000 crores, which they purchased for 6,000 crores only. This thing made investors realize that if you want to earn the profit in the startup, then the startup does not have to be profitable at all. Because the Flipkart was never profitable from 2008 to 2018, but still its valuation keeps increasing. This is what we call the greater fool theory. In this theory, what you need is an investor who invests in that startup at a greater valuation than yours. Tiger Global is a hedge fund, and looking at its profit from the Flipkart, many people started investing in their hedge fund, and hence Tiger Global has a lot of capital to invest. But by this time, the competition in the market is increased, as there were a lot of venture capitals. This big VCs has a simple calculation. If they will invest in the 10 startups, one startup from them will help the VC to recover the loss from the 9 and will also make a profit for them. The CEO of SoftBank, Masayoshi Son, invested in the startup named Alibaba during 95-96 and he also invested in the other startups during that tenure. But the Alibaba became successful and their 600 crore stake became the rupees 10 lakh crore, which helped them recover the loss from the other startups and also made a huge profit for them. After the success in Alibaba, the SoftBank launched the Vision Fund 1 and 2. The Tiger Global and the SoftBank then heavily invested in the tech and the other startups worldwide. The investment was so big that India has 107 unicorns and more than 50% of them has a Tiger Global or the SoftBank as an investor. Because of such a heavy funding, a bubble created and the startup valuation skyrocketed. For example, the Paytm, which was valued at 1.5 lakh crores by them, and today the valuation of the Paytm is about 41,000 crores. Because of this bubble, the fundamentals of the Indian startups change. The startup founder know that if you need money to expand the business, you will easily get it from the VCs, but profitability was never a matter of concern to them. What happened after COVID is the interest rate in the US were again dropped. In 2019, when it was 2.5%, it became 0.25% in 2023, and again the flow of investors from US increased, and again they have funded the startups at any valuation. Now, for making the profit, what they need is a player like a Walmart. But now the taking exit from the startups became hard. So what they did is they launched the IPO of the startups at the valuation which is greater than their valuation. But what happened? The share did not perform well in the stock market and the investor lost their money. Some of the stocks, like the one of the Paytm, lost its value by whopping 70%. Retail investor became a fool in initial 2 or 3 IPOs, but now they also stopped purchasing the stock of the loss-making companies, and then it's lose on lose for investors. And from here, VC's loss starts increasing. In the previous financial year, the SoftBank made a loss of 1,90,000 crore rupees and the Tiger Global made a loss of 1,500 crores every single day. And today, the Tiger Global is struggling for its survival. Recently, we talked about the Paytm's stock plunged by 70%. But do you know? Paytm has showed a 42% increase in revenue. Losses narrowed to the rupees 392 crores from 778.5 crores last year. So moving to the next part of the video, Paytm's strategy to become the market leader. Looking at the market acquisition chart, PhonePe is the market leader, ruling by acquiring 47.8% of the total UPI market. GPay stands at the 33.6%, where the Paytm stands at the 13.2%. But the numbers are soon going to change. Why? We will find it out in a video. Let's start from the ABC. For running a successful business, we needed 3 products: entry product, retainer product, and upsell product. The entry product, the product through which you enter the market. For every UPI app, the entry product is a QR code. But the problem is, you can easily switch a payment app as you don't have the investment in that particular app. Taking Instagram as an example, you will not switch the app as fast as UPI apps because you have your followers as your investment. But in case of UPI apps, if another app is giving you more cashback, you will switch in grade of that more cashback. And steps are easy too. Enter your mobile number, OTP receive, bank verification under 120 seconds, and boom, you are on new app enjoying more cashback. While you are enjoying the cashback, companies are spending billions in acquiring you as a customer user of the particular app. In case of PhonePe, it has been said that it has spent 1000 rupees per customer. In spite of spending so much money, there is no guarantee that user will be loyal to that particular app, as there is no retainer product. Here Paytm come with very small but huge solution. On merchant's end, when there are a lot of customers, you cannot check the payment slip constantly to check whether that customer has paid or not. And here comes the game changer sound box.
बहुत हेल्प करता है, मतलब कि जैसे पेमेंट आती है तो साउंड बॉक्स में आवाज़ आ जाती है,
इमीडिएटली पता लग जाता है कि हमारे उसमें आ गया।
स्कैन करो, वो बोल जाता है तो आगे वाले को भी कंफर्म हो जाता है।
फोन को देखना पड़ता था कि हमारी पेमेंट आई है कि नहीं, या कस्टमर का चेक करना पड़ता था, वो चीज़ खत्म हो गई।
थोड़ा इजी होता है क्योंकि चेक करना होता है, वो चेक करते हैं, मैं चेक करता हूँ, मुझे दिखाना होता है कि मैंने पेमेंट किया, फिर वो एक बार चेक करता है।
इससे मुझे सुविधा ये मिल गई कि मैं बार बार मोबाइल खोल कर देखूँ अपना, तो इसी में बटन है, उसी को दबाऊंगा और बोल देगा।
आई थिंक इट इज़ वन मोर लेयर ऑफ कंफर्मेशन।
पहले तो ये था कि जैसे पेमेंट आती भी तो कभी कभी फ्रॉड हो जाता था, वो फेक ऐप से पेमेंट कर देते थे।
वरना बहुत से कस्टमर आते हैं दूसरे दिखा देते हैं कि हमारा पेटीएम हो गया, वो करके चले जाते हैं।
वो कहते हैं आगे आगे अगर दिखाते हुए चले जाते हैं, पैसा आता नहीं।
पहले 1-2 बार हमारे से मिस हो गया था, क्योंकि कस्टमर दिखाते कि हमारे से पेमेंट हो चुका है, लेकिन मेरे अकाउंट में नहीं है।
ये तो जब बोलते हैं हम तभी जाने देते हैं, उससे पहले नहीं जाने देते।
जब तक यहाँ पर हमारी साउंड नहीं आती तब हम उसके जाने नहीं देते।
So fast, Paytm distributed it so rapidly that until its competitor find it as a problem, it would be very late. The rules were simple. If you want a soundbox, you need to have an account on Paytm. Looking at the August 2022 reports, PhonePe has deployed 1 lakh devices, BharatPe has 3 lakh devices deployed, and Paytm alone has 30 lakh devices deployed. So the soundbox was a game changer retainer product. We understood the entry and the retainer product of the Paytm, but to make a user permanent, you definitely need an upsell product. Using the merchant data, Paytm has become a giant loan aggregator company. We look Paytm as a B2C business, but they are also B2B fintech company. Merchant lending space. Banks usually avoid this space and hence are not that deep in this space, but why? Where the salaried person easily get the loan, this merchant find it hard to get the loan from bank. It is because banks do not have enough data to calculate the risk of the lending money to these merchants. Here's where the Paytm data collection strategy comes in picture. Just like a credit card company, note our spending pattern. Every time we make a payment, Paytm's algorithm takes a note of cash flow at the merchant's end every time you make a payment using a QR code. The algorithm keeps notes of its merchant inventory value, estimated projected savings, estimated income, consistency of income, and so forth. Just a credit card company notes your spending pattern to know how creditworthiness you are. Paytm's algorithm calculates the risk of the lending using its data, and this is how the Paytm decides the creditworthiness of the merchant. Tomorrow, when Mr. Mehta has a healthy cash flow of the 5 lakh rupees and he is requesting the loan of 30,000, Paytm will immediately process the loan without any paperwork. But if Mr. Patel, who has an inflow of the 1 lakh rupees and he is requesting the 3 lakh rupees, then the Paytm will charge higher interest. And once the lending procedure starts, the Paytm algorithm becomes smarter and smarter at the risk assessment based on the merchant's loan repayment history. Paytm's loan dispersal score up by the 327% to 3,928 crores, where the 3.9 million loans are dispersed. This is how the Paytm stepped one step ahead in the hyper-competitive digital space of India. This is for today, guys. If you like this video, please consider subscribing to Finnworld Affairs.